Hello, welcome back to the channel. Good to have all of you here. I just wanted to stop in and make a quick video about my day, my afternoon, my evening. Really just encapsulated, reminding me to be grateful and just emphasized how God works in the small little ways, in the ways that we don't think, all throughout our day and our lives. And I just need to be grateful for all the things that I have, and we really do live a blessed life. So, to kind of sum the story up, at the end of work, for the last couple of weeks, I've been growing out kind of the most shaggy hairstyle. So shaggy you'd think I needed a Scooby snack. But after work, I was like, I'm gonna get a haircut. I normally go to Great Clips when they give me a coupon. Hadn't had a coupon, went to check, didn't have the app, re-downloaded it, still no coupon. So then I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna get a haircut. Then I'm like, you know what, I will get a haircut, but I'll just Google haircuts. Not sure I'll go to Great Clips. Ends up, that's where I go. But as I'm leaving work, I see the one that has no wait time, never been there before. I click it, it's not far from the office. So I'm en route. Get off work at 6, they close at 7. Stayed a little late, got there at like 6:30, nobody in the parking lot. I thought, great, hopefully they're not annoyed, but I did check in. So I walk in there, and it's just me, my private Great Clips, and the 2 employees. And one was like a middle-aged white guy, you know, I wouldn't say clean cut, he looked a little rough, but he was like a good-looking middle-aged white guy. Kind of gave me the presence, he knew what he was doing, maybe the manager. The other guy was some young guy, maybe my age or younger. And when I first walked in the door, he goes, hello. And yeah, I think it's funny, but almost my immediate thought was, I hope the other guy is the guy cutting my hair. He asked me if I checked in. I said I did, and then he laughs again and grabs the ticket and says, this way. And I'm like, oh fuck. Basically, you never know what you're gonna get at Great Clips. I was committed at this point, I'm not gonna be rude, but he sits me down and I'm not confident. This is a haircut, by the way. I think it looks all right. Pretty good. And I show him a picture of what I want. We proceed to start talking, and it was awkward in the beginning, just the 3 of us. And I basically say, hey, I'm, thinning on the top of my head in spots. You guys are professionals with hair. Do you have any recommendations? Do you know anything I can do to help with that? And that kind of broke the ice. Everybody was, talking at that point. And they proceeded to tell me that they know all sorts of stuff about hair, because it's $20,000 of schooling to cut hair, which I was astounded by. I kind of thought it was like an entry-level job. I knew they probably made, I don't know, 50, 60,000 a year. I really have no idea. But I didn't think you would pay $20,000 for that. And then the guy that I told you, I thought was the manager, says, well, I didn't have to pay for school because I was in prison, so I got it for free. Actually, I just got out of prison. And everybody's cool and everything, and I'm sure they taught him great in prison. But then I'm sitting there looking in the mirror, and I got 2 guys holding scissors near me, and I'm like, oh shit. And then the other guy tells me that he had to pay for his school. He went in Oklahoma City, and basically it was a challenge for him because he is recovering from a stroke, or had a stroke in 2020 during COVID. Explains his demeanor, and I immediately felt bad. And then he, tells me a little more. He was an active drug user, overdosed, had a stroke, they saved his life, but he lost like use in the right side of his body. After years of physical therapy, he was able to do it, and being able to cut hair was a big thing because it's small motor skills. And then I'm like astounded by these guys. All of a sudden, they've both gone through all sorts of stuff to get to where they are. And then they asked me a little bit about myself and about houses and what I do. And I told them basically I live in like a little sober living house that I created. And they were like, well, are you in the program? I tell them no, but I was around a lot of people in the program. And actually during COVID, I had an ex-girlfriend pass from drugs. And we all just kind of connected around that for a minute. And long story short, although this is not very short anymore, by the end of it, they were like so grateful to have met me, I guess. They thought it was cool. I was trying to help people in recovery. And I was so grateful to have met them. I think that they're both just cool guys that are battling life. And it just made me stop and think about how I need to be more grateful for everything that I have. I sit in a plushy chair at work, have a job that I pretty much enjoy. I'm walking my dog. It's just, I've got a lot of great things in my life. And also, it's just a reminder, you don't know how God is going to use the small things in your life and in just your day. And I do think I was supposed to go talk to him, because emphasized on I wasn't sure I was going to get a haircut, wasn't sure I was going to go there, ended up going somewhere I'd never gone before. Met these two guys. It was like the perfect timing. Good time for us all to have an open conversation with a lot of details I'm not sharing here. And some scars in people's lives and in your own can lead you to certain types of healing and help that you don't see at the time. And it's just how God works. So, thanks for listening to my ramble as I walk the Luca. If you had anything crazy happen today that you would love to share, leave a comment. And I will see you guys in the next Walk Talk.